Really cool stuff, and like you've seen here today, we usually have some pretty hype matches with some characters that you don't normally see, like Roy that you see on here.
We got 3 Sonics. Anyway.
So it's fun. It's kind of fun to watch. We usually have 3 streams a week or so, if not more. And we're going to have another tournament tomorrow. We tech those. So, you know, it's a good time to subscribe and take advantage of those perks. But we're going to get into this match. And Hyper versus Sonido.
Oh, shit.
So, anyway. Sonido is really just kind of baiting around like we saw Wrath do, but he moves a little bit more than Wrath. Likes to come in and out. Hyper is just looking for those openings. You know, he knows this matchup. He's played Wrath several times, but like I said, Sonido's a little bit of a different animal. You know, Sonics are typically similar, but can be different. As we already see, we're seeing a lot more rolls from Sonido, and like I said, see him taking up a lot more of the stage with his movement. He's got Hyper off stage. I think it'll be interesting to see. Sonido probably doesn't have any roids in his region that he came from.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Except Texas.
Yeah, catches that forward smash.
I think one of the things is, like, Sonido tends to be more aggressive than Wrath. Obviously, he's not incredibly aggressive, but he's more aggressive than Wrath and CC, which are both the Sonics that Hyper's played. And Hyper kind of benefits off of that, because the way he overwhelms his opponent, the Sonic can't be nearly as campy.
Yeah.
They're forced to do panic options. But
yeah, go ahead.
Also, Sonido, obviously, like you mentioned, the inexperience. Generally, their first time playing Hyper tends to win. But Sonido doing really good right now.
Yeah.
Winning most of neutral basically due to Hyper overextending.
Right, I think the pace of the game is kind of surprising Hyper. He's used to dictating the pace and being the fastest moving person out there. Even when he plays Wrath, you know, Sonic is fast in spin dash, but his like meta and the way he plays is not fast. Here, Sonido's really dictating the pace. Kept his jump right there.
No sweet spot.
No. But he's
he was expecting him to go and smash. He was expecting the mix-up.
Yep.
Whenever Sonido, a lot of Sonics like to do that, where they just up onto Smash Roll platforms, since a lot of people ledge guard them anyway.
Yeah. But Hyper catching him out with the ledge jump option. Something Sonido's probably not used to is having an up tilt kill that easily.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's something you really got to work out with. I'd say Hyper gets 20-25% of his kills with up tilt, which is a hefty proportion.
Oh.
And he's got him in a bad position right now. Oh.
I was definitely expecting fair, but I guess he knows better than me.
And so this is another thing, too. Hyper is really based on tech chase and reads. And so players that he's played before, he plays against better than players that he hasn't played before, because once you picked up on their habits, it's easier to figure out what they're going to do. So that might be something that we look at for in this matchup, is that since Hyper has never played Sonido before, he might not be able
on the flip side, Sonido teched out, and usually Hyper follows the tech out on any player that is like their first time playing.
Yeah.
Because they know not to tech out. If you tech out, you're going to die at 50 if they read it correctly.
Yeah.
And you can even react to it, because the way Warrior dashes forward, if they tech in place, you can go ahead and F smash and react to it. And if they tech out, you just fox run another time and F smash.
Right. Is that down air going to take it off the side? But yeah, you're right. So basically, we can cover those two options pretty easily. The tech in's probably the hardest to cover, but still he can reverse forwards past that.
Yeah, which is what he did. He went for that read.
Yeah. But anyway, so the winner of this is going to play Salt 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And
Salt 1 currently loses finals.
And Sonido actually already lost to Salt 1. Salt 1 doing good work today. If he wins, or if Hyper pulls this out, we're going to have doubles partners, practice partners, and crewmates playing against each other in losers finals.
Salt 1 actually has the edge in that matchup.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
It's pretty interesting, actually. All right, anyway.
This is
so we're
weird.
going...
Because, like, the way Sonic's moving around on the platforms, Hyper can't really catch it. So
no.
Stuff like this is what really will benefit him, where it's completely flat, but I honestly don't know if Hyper loses this match or where he would counterpick. But let's not get into that.
I got to say, I think that Hyper likes this stage plenty, and the reason is because, like I said, he likes to kill with up tilt, and he likes to kill with Blazer, too. And both of those kill off the top. So I've seen him counterpick to this stage against players that play characters like Bayonetta or Rosalina that you would think, whoa, you want to stay away from these stages, and he feels comfortable in it. We're staying pretty even right now. Hyper has the stage control, gets the read with the up smash, and that's going to take another option to kill off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call out from Hyper right now.
He's so Hyper not technically edge guarding people, but trapping people at the edge. He's incredible.
Yeah, his ledge game is very strong.
His kill percent.
Sonido is doing he's just trying to find a way in right now. He can't really bait out options that he knows how to punish, and I think that's kind of an issue here. Is Sonic likes to know what options he can punish and bait those out, but he might not know what he can and can't bait out with Roy right now, and that's kind of been a factor. That's it. No, Magnet Hands. I thought he might not
even
make
necessarily Magnet Hands, just Roy's recovery is it's pretty decent horizontally.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Expecting rolling
yeah,
out.
better than Cloud.
I think Sonido's been rolling out just a little bit too much. He's actually missed out on a few punishes because of it. Like, even on M-Leg, sometimes he just wants to roll out to be safe. Obviously, you're scared of Roy. You want to do that, but yeah, he'll learn.
Back throw should do it here. So something about Sonido, too, I'm seeing is he's overkitting too much, like I was talking about on options he can't punish. And then he's getting in the air over Hyper, and Hyper really likes it in that situation because that, again, is a read-based situation. And he gets the trump right here, gets the back air, knew he wasn't going to buffer an option. Can't really react to a trump. So good option from Hyper. Like I was saying, Tech Chase is what Tyver is most famous for, but when you're above him, it's also a read-based situation. And so if he can read which way you're going to move with your and what options you're going to pick, he can juggle you for a little while. And we saw that happen and saw him able to rack up damage with up air and things of that nature. So, again, we're coming back to Town and City. This is arguably Sonic's best stage, so I understand it. But if I'm being honest, this is Roy's second best stage, if not the best stage, with Smashville being the only other possible contender. Did that eat the jump? Must have.
Yes, that ate the jump.
But again,
Hyper meant to jump back to the ledge.
Yep. Sonido coming in, figuring out that the best way to beat Roy is to gimp him. Because Roy's neutral is strong. I mean, reminiscent of Cloud and Ness in that situation where, you have a strong neutral but a pretty poor disadvantage state. Mm-hmm. Even Falcon. One of those few characters in the game that just kind of doesn't have an actually good recovery in Smash 4. But has a good everything else.
This game quickly falling out of Hyper's hands. Almost getting lapped in a percent lead.
Yeah. But, I mean, Roy's kill power, one Foxtrot forwards match is going to do it.
Yeah, definitely the most powerful butter knife I've ever seen in the hands of Roy. Not much range.
All right.
But it's incredible.
The Sword of Seals is a freaking awesome weapon in his own game. It's the only thing that makes him viable, but, whatever. I'm just being a Fire Emblem nerd.
I didn't like that counter at all.
No, me either.
Sonido was trying to grab at ledge all the time, and if not, he was trying to spin dash bait at ledge.
Right, well, I mean, Sonic's best option
doesn't counter either of those things.
One of Sonic's best options is to grab at the ledge so you can put you in a bad situation with down throw.
I don't think it's necessarily to grab, but, like, the whole spin dash mix-up thing at ledge comes with a grab.
Right.
How did that down tilt win? That's weird.
All right. Hyper again trying to call out his options in the air, but Sonido's doing a really good job adapting and not picking the same options. Likes to use, I was going to say Blazer right here.
The up B.
Yep.
Catching many a soul.
What is the neutral B called?
Do you think I know?
Yes. You sponsored this guy for a while.
So I know all of Roy's moves?
Yes.
That wouldn't make
I can't remember.
sense.
I think it's Flare Blade is what I think it's called.
Flare? Okay, noted.
All right.
Spin. Spot dodging is so, I don't want to say bad against Sonic, but it's bad against Sonic,
Oh, catches him out with
like
the forward
Like
smash.
I said, if a Sonic is spin dash baiting you and you think they're going to spin dash in and you spot dodge, they're not going to spin dash in.
Right.
They're a Sonic main.
And another thing we were talking about, too, earlier with Hyper is a lot of times the best option to cover if you spot dodge is a jab to avoid some other stuff and try to clink. And Roy's jab is like frame 7, like frame 5 to 7. It's not a very fast jab, so you're not covered a whole lot. So his only option really is to shield out of it. So, I mean, he's pretty limited off a spot dodge. But we're coming to Smashville, which is, again, arguably Roy's best stage. This would be the stage I would ban, and I think once Sonido learns the matchup a little bit more, he'll probably start banning. Coming in with the forward air. And right now it's starting to look like both of these players just kind of have a feel for each other.
Yeah, which kind of explains all the trades.
Yeah.
Looking at how even this game is, like, two of the first neutral interactions are either trading hits or just straight up clashes.
Right.
Just where both moves hit
And that's what happens when it's a best-of-5 set and you haven't played the person before and you actually have time to fill them out here in Game 4. Oh, Hyper using the side B right there to dance up his movement. Oh, again with the counter. It hasn't worked yet. Grab coming in. Really good mix-up from Hyper right there. Baiting out a read.
Actually, don't think that counter was that bad because best case scenario, he hits you. Worst case scenario, Hyper's been conditioning him to expect landings. He's basically making himself a lot safer from Sonic trying to catch his landings with moves because the Sonic now realizes I need to wait for him to land.
Right.
And waiting for Roy to land, Roy can now just land for free. One of his biggest weaknesses is just the opponents become scared of it.
Yeah, all right, so we know something I've talked to Hyper about is he likes that back air because it kind of stalls his downward momentum a little bit, and he'll throw that out sometimes off the side of the stage, not necessarily to catch you, but to just kind of stall and bait out an option from you. Up tilt, that's going to take it. And again, that move is ridiculously strong. It covers so much ground too, and the sweet spot on it actually is pretty long.
Yeah.
One of the few moves on Roy's sword that doesn't have like a smaller sweet spot box near the middle. But Hyper really good at spacing it anyway.
The fact that like he wanted to miss the smash roll platform with that side B. Oh geez, that's not that much damage because Sonic can just jump.
Right.
Hoppity hops in midair. Wish I could do that.
Yep. So something Hyper can do right now is pretty safe. Is Sonic's not going to be able to do much if he just shields near the middle of the stage. I mean, he's going to be able to throw him off to the side, but it's not going to kill. He's going to be looking for a back throw here or a forward smash read. And we're seeing Sonido actually opt for the forward smash. Whereas Wrath prefers the throw options and the back throw. I'm seeing Sonido prefer like the neutral forward smash. I don't know if that's because he's picking up on something. Hyper sees it if that's a habit, but great stuff from Hyper with a double blazer.
Double.
Oh my gosh, Roy's our boy.
If it works
Roy's
once,
our
do
boy.
it again in the same 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh, do it again in the same 15 seconds.
Dude.
Just throw it out.
The blazer.
Blazer work.